In a continuing series of questions and answers and things that I get answered a lot, a great question came up about what are the most important tools to have as a gunsmith in a shop? And this was hard. It took us a little while to narrow down through this. And I've got my five. Pencil, Mark 1, Mod 0, pointy end, blunt end. If you can't draw it, if you can't get what's in your head on a piece of paper, you cannot make it. No one can follow you. You make your mistakes with a pencil, pen, stylus, glyph, I don't care. Just make your mistakes on paper. If you think you're just going to walk up to a lathe or a mill and cut something, it's not going to happen. And it won't happen consistently because you cannot explain what it is you've done or what you want to do. Pencil. That end should die way before that end does. Second tool. The 2-ounce ball peen hammer. You need other ones. You need 4s, 6s, 8s. I've got them all the way up to 5 pounds. But you need a 2-ounce ball peen hammer, and it should have, oh my, that's pretty scuzzy, but still polished. It should have a polished hammer face because you don't want to transfer every mark in the world over to what you're tapping on. But a good hammer, make friends with this. This one was a gift from a personal friend of mine. He was my turn buddy out at Nucor. And Ray gave me this hammer over 20 years ago. And I'll tell you what, it's the one I use the most. You want the nice thin handle so it's whippy. You're not swinging with this thing. You're just tapping with it. You're moving stuff. You're persuading things. And most importantly, it is difficult but not impossible to move metal with one of these. You get any more weight, you start making mistakes and you start banging things up. Okay. Third thing, you need a decent vise. I got to tell you, this Versa vise is awesome. I have kind of a knockoff one here up above my right shoulder. And this week while we were filming, I put new jaws in it, beat those up, put the old jaws in it. But a decent vise to hang on to your work. Now, this is not a machinist vise. This is for hanging on the woodwork, and you can use it in multiple, but you need a decent vise. You guys have all seen that big honker that I'm using over there, that Wilton, and we're inserting a picture of the Wilton here. That thing, you need to be on the lookout for one of those. Don't pay full price for that. That's expensive, but you need a decent vise. And I believe, let's see, pencil, hammer, yes, that leaves me with screwdrivers. I like these magnet tips. I don't know where Brownells had them made. There are other companies that make magnetic tip screwdrivers. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what they're making the tips out of, but I just like the Brownell stuff the best when you can get them. Right now, everyone has decided to take a 2-year vacation in this country, so God only knows when we'll be able to get any parts back. But good screwdrivers that fit the slots of the screws that you're putting them in that are parallel ground. Learn how to parallel grind the sides of a screwdriver and never look back. And that brings me to the last thing. A very wise friend of mine has recently told me that $1 in books will save you $1,000, going on $2,000 worth of knowledge. It will save you that many mistakes. So $1 in books saves you $1,000 in mistakes, right? Buy the book. So it always helps to have quality tech manuals, and your library should be growing. So whether you're working on a 1911, you're building AR-15s, 30 caliber for like the M1 Garand, or general gunsmithing, you should have some general gunsmithing books. Go find them. They're available for almost nothing if you know what you're looking for. And a lot of people are going to ask me for the 4 books that I got on my list, and we'll put them up in the, in the pull down, show more comments kind of deal. But that's pretty much it. And your library should be a living thing. And I've got to tell you something that's amazing about books. And I don't mean electronic stuff. But the beauty of this book is that this thing still works because the sun came up. You can still build an AR-15. And that's about all I got to say about that. Thank you very much.